Grenada, Carriacou, Pity Monic, and the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson. Folks, this is where it all happens. The good, the bad, and the Mikey. The things you hear nowhere else, you'll hear it here. The things you see nowhere else, you will see it right here. Folks, this is news discussed, not told. And it's about news in your Lili Lolo. Here's what. We are inviting you now to share the program. It's simple for those of you who are on Facebook. Simply hit the share button and that's it. Share it on your wall and your friends, your family members, everyone else will be able to see. In other words, you're like an ambassador for the program. Yes? Now we'd like to welcome those of you who are viewing via YouTube. We are happy to have you with us as well. We want to say hello to those of you who are always on the program. The loyal viewers of Mikey Live, thank you for joining us. All right? Yes, we are ready for business. Also, we'd like to say welcome to the viewers on WPG 10, channels 10 and 11 on cable. Here are your headlines for tonight. Now, what you'll be hearing about on tonight's program. Fire at Duquesne in St. Mark. We will tell you about that. St. George's University scholarship announcement. That too, we will tell you about. Appeal for support for the Grenadian finalists. And we're talking about those who are to participate at Fantastic Friday, Trinidad and Tobago in March. Missing person reported. We will talk to you about that. Project to assist Nawasa with challenges. We'll tell you about that. Speaking of challenges, 4 water systems under valve regulations by Nawasa. That too we will tell you about. British Airways passengers put up in brothel after flight cancellation in St. Lucia. That too is making the buzz. We will tell you about that. Yesterday we didn't have time to report to you that a 9-year-old girl killed herself after her mom refused to let her play on her phone, and that happened in the US. That and more we will tell you about on tonight's program. Remember, again, this is news discussed, not told. When we come back, it will be real news in Ole Lili Lolo, reminding you that tonight's headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emeralds International. You stay put, get your popcorn and your Coke. We will come back to some interesting news.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Cancer got with the next one.
Cancer? Who is cancer? And who you go with?
Who is cancer? Why you don't live in it? Why cancer is a disease caused by too much abnormal cells in a part in the body. That cancer is a real killer.
Yeah? Cancer should be in prison? But by the way, who cancer kill?
Mr. Jella last son.
You mean Jackson?
Oh.
And he was so young and never thought cancer does kill young people so.
But cancer is no respect of age, race, gender, nothing.
You're telling me? I hear it have over 25 different types of cancer.
Like, cancer them style now? Cancer more popular than them damagings and them?
And from what I research, early detection, exercise, and healthy eating is your best chance of fighting against this terrible disease.
Let's intensify our fight against cancer. Regular screening, constant exercising, and healthy eating habits are the key to winning the battle against cancer.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to Pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26 February on the Carnage in St. George's. England versus the West Indies, Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carnage is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely cricket. Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. And folks, welcome to another Mikey Live program. I see that we have some first-time viewers. Well, however you heard about the program, we want to say thank you for being here with us tonight. Now, the first thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, Public Utilities, Energy, Transport and Implementation wishes to remind the general public, and in particular the owners of garages, welding parlors and furniture shops, that you need to register your businesses with the Inland Revenue Department according to law. Now, folks, the deadline for registration is December 31st. So it is therefore imperative. Well, here's what. The deadline for registration, sorry, let's remove that is and say was. The deadline for registration was December 31st. So it is therefore imperative that the owners of these businesses get registered as soon as possible to avoid unnecessary consequences. Again, the appeal is going out to the owners of garages, welding parlors, and furniture shops, that you need to register your business with the Inland Revenue Department according to law. Now, folks, special victim units, they will be having an awareness march. It is set for Friday, and that is as part of its continued efforts to raise awareness on sexual violence among youth. The Royal Grenada Police Force, the Special Victims Unit, yes, they'll be hosting a march on Friday, 22nd February 2019, commencing at 9 a.m. And it's going to be commencing at actually at Tantine St. George, and it will be proceeding along the Carnage, Sendell Tunnel, Melville Street, and it will be ending at Queen's Park, St. George's. They're saying there a short ceremony will be held. Now, every Tuesday there is a press event held by the government, which is called the post-cabinet briefing. There today, we had Minister Garaway. He said that Grenada is quickly putting the final touches in place to host the 2 one-day games. All right, and that's Minister of Youth Development and Sports, Dr. Winston Garaway. Anyway, sorry for that. What he's saying now is that, by the way, the country will, he's information minister, in fact, right? Now, the country will be hosting the cricket games, and it's the first time in 4 years that we'll be having such match being played. I'm talking about since the English team was here in Grenada. All right, the games will be on the 25th and the 27th of February. Now, Dr. Garway says that the arrival of the foreign spectators is a plus, not just for the Cricket Authority, but the country as a whole, as these people spend and share the experience of the country with others. Now, one of his biggest concerns for the event is the attendance of the locals, as he's saying that the updated ticket numbers are not very good. It is showing a low turnout so far. All right, he said the ticket sales so far amount to a total of over 2,000, which isn't enough, as the stadium holds a capacity of 16,000. All right. Now, Galway says that they have incentives to get people to purchase tickets and so on. And of course, we will give you more on that report in the national report. We don't want to duplicate the information for you. All right. Now, during the break, on the first day, Devon Smith will be given his own stand, and there would be the unveiling of a plaque for his stand along with Junior Murray and Raul Lewis. On the rest day, the Cultural Foundation will be holding an after party with the intent to kind of like recreate the whole carnival atmosphere. All right, it is in fact called the Taste of Spice. There will be a number of cultural acts, including many soca artists such as Lava Man and all the other guys performing there on that night. In fact, I want to take the opportunity to tell you now, on Tuesday next, the 26th, which is the rest day, instead of conducting the typical Mikey Live news segment, what we will have for you is a live broadcast of the after party held on the Carenage, scheduled to be held on the Carenage. We will go live from about 6 p.m., bringing you all the activities and the actions there. I think, in fact, that it is something that you would love. Just before coming on the program, we received news that there was a fire happening in Duquesne, and of course we were able to get some footage for you about that fire. We are not sure whether or not anyone was injured in this fire, but it doesn't seem so, because I have not received any such reports. What has caused this fire is still under investigation by police, but it is believed that this is a bushfire. How it started again, we are not certain about that, but we will keep monitoring those. You know, usually at around this time, and particularly when it outside is extra dry, you would find that there are a lot of bushfires. Some would be started by persons, others they start on their own. Yeah, but this particular fire is under investigation. I think still the fire department is on the scene trying to put out this fire. We are moving on. Now, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boys, is St. George's University. They have made a scholarship announcement. Now, the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, and the Religious Affairs hereby informs the public that the Government of Grenada, in collaboration with the St. George's University, is offering scholarships to interested Grenadian nationals who wish to pursue bachelor's and master's degrees for the academic year 2019-2020. 1. Undergraduate Arts and Science degree program, deadline June 15, 2019. Graduate MBA degree program, Business Administration. A multi-sector health management and international business. The deadline for that is July 15, 2019. Now, all applicants are advised to take note of the following. Applicants must first apply to the St. George's University for acceptance. Applicants must be citizens of Grenada, and as well, personal statements need to explain the applicant's financial needs, and as well, application forms for the scholarship can be accessed on the Facebook page. That's the Human Resource Development Division / scholarship desk, or from the scholarship desk via email. Of course, there are more requirements in which we will share on our website and Facebook page, all right, to interested persons. Now, The Spicemas Corporation is spearheading a private-public sector initiative to raise funds for the 5 Grenadian artists to perform at the Trinidad Soca and Groovy Soca finals on Fantastic Friday. Now, we spoke with the new CEO of the Spicemas Corporation, that is Mr. Kelvin Jacob, about the initiative. Of course, they are saying that this is going to mean a lot for Grenada, and so they're asking persons to support, in particular business persons and so on, individuals, fans and so, to support the artists.
Right. So right now at the corporation, we are developing a partnership, a private sector, public sector partnership to assist the Calypsonians, the soca artists in Trinidad. We know that our soca artists made history in Trinidad this year, and they are all into the finals right now of the International Soca Monarch Finals. And we know it's a big burden on them, and we really want to assist them as they move forward, because right about now they are really flying the flag high for Grenada down there, and they are marketing Grenada at this time, and we know that they are creating a buzz, and that can only bring great returns for us for Carnival 2019. So as a corporation, we are appealing to the private sector businesses out there to come on board with us and help us in coming up with a little funds to assist these guys in Trinidad to prepare the final stage presentations, help with the accommodation, the travel arrangements, the meals, etc., while they are in Trinidad. And as sponsors, if you get on board with that, you are going to get your benefits as well, because you will be featured in our live feeds as we when we go to Trinidad to speak to the competition. So you will be featured as a sponsor, as a partner, and when the guys come back to Grenada, there will obviously be a welcome ceremony where you will be a part of that. Ah, nice. And of course, folks, as well, Jacob says that they're asking for raw cash. All right, that is what's needed right now, because the competition is right there and a lot of things needs to happen. And so you know, whether you are just a supporter, whether it is you're a business person who just wants to see things go good with the guys, at least you can make that contribution. Yeah, and as well, he was also saying that you could get your friends and so on to join with you in that initiative as well. Yeah, right now we're asking for raw cash, because I think that's one of the greatest demands for the guys right now. Communicating with them, they need funds to help them, because they really want to go hard. Whatever any business can give, or any individual out there who feel they want to assist in that cause, we will greatly accept that, and you can call the office, and we would get in touch with you, and we will see how we can do that speedily, because the competition is on March 1st. So we want to make sure that we put something together and we give it to the guys so that they can give up their best again at the finals. Yeah, right now. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Jacobs. Okay, so folks, it is very important that you do whatever you have to support all our artists who are going down to Trinidad. Of course, a lot of people are talking about it right now. The talk on the street is Grenada versus Trinidad and Tobago. That's what it is. Yeah, Grenada on one side in the blue corner, and Trinidad and Tobago in the red corner. Who will it be? I saw there was a poll today asking whether or not it's going to be Iowa George or Mr. Killer going home with the title. Time alone will tell. I feel they go tie Grenada and Trinidad together. You know? Ain't putting nothing past nobody. All right. So now the next thing that we have to thank you very much, Mr. Jacobs, again, all right, for giving us the information. We received this before coming on the program tonight of a missing person. That's Mr. Alphonsus Antoine. According to this report, Antoine left his Lansapines home between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. today. He was dressed in khaki shorts and a gray shirt. He is around 6 feet 7 inches tall, average built, with a gray beard and low-cut gray hair. Now, anyone having seen or knowing the whereabouts of Alphonsus Antoine, you are kindly asked to call 419-1356 or the nearest police station. All right, so people, please be on the lookout for him. Yes,
Anyone seeing him, please call the relevant authorities, please call the police, or you can speak to your family members about him, all right? We were not able to independently verify the information. The next thing we have to tell all about, boy, more valve regulations. Well, valve regulations, I don't want to say more. But NAWASA is saying that there's a likelihood that there could be more valve regulations as they really fight with this dry season. It ain't plain. Now at the moment, NAWASA has 4 water systems under valve regulations, all which have recorded significant reductions in water production. Les Avocat 40%, Mardi Gras 30%, PT Etang 40%, Annandale 30%, which is very significant as the island's largest dam is producing 1.6 million gallons, which on a normal day production is at 2.5 million gallons of water. All right, so they are continuing to appeal to persons to be conscious. You understand? When it comes to storage, at least 3 days supply of 35 gallons of water per person per day. Less wastage. Close the tap when you're brushing your teeth and when you're doing other things. Desist from abuse of standpipes. They go and wash on all the can, wash on all the thing, and then kind of business and all the boss on the standpipe. Desist from lighting fires. And please continue to report leaks wherever you see them within your communities. Okay, guys? Now, also NAWASA announced that it has a major concessionary funded project that will certainly address the challenges of this dry season faced by the consumers within the next 2 years. Now, in a statement, NAWASA says with the support of the Germany Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, they will commence shortly work under the Green Climate Fund for Grenada's water project entitled Climate Resilience Water Sector in Grenada, Sea Cruise. Now this transformational project values at EC $125 million. They say that it is the single largest investment in the island's water sector to date. It will ensure that there are significant upgrades to certain systems throughout the island, with the total budget financed as follows. The Green Climate Fund, EC $105 million, and that's a grant. Government of Germany, 7.5 million, that's a grant. Government of Grenada and NAWASA, EC 12.5 million in kind and cash. Now, this major win presents a wonderful opportunity to comprehensively mainstream and implement climate resilience throughout Grenada's entire national water sector, addressing 2 main climate risks and vulnerabilities of Grenada: freshwater availability and disaster preparedness. Now, folks, you would find more information on that on our website, mikeylive.com, which also will be shared on our page. In fact, I think we already did that. Now, while we're talking about that, and of course, it's important to tell you all that's happening with regards to water in Grenada, as it is now going to be a major concern. Work is ongoing on the Annandale Intake Development Initiative. Now, here's what the key objective of this project is: to reduce water losses experienced between the Granitang outfall and Annandale Dam, thus increasing the water supplied to the dam and ultimately increasing water availability for treatment during the dry season. Now, the project is designed and being implemented under the Granitang Water Partnership, which is a subset of the Grenada Water Stakeholder Platform, GWASP, with the International Water Stewardship Program. Now, some of the benefits of that: reduced water losses during transmission from the Granitang outfall to the dam, more reliable water supply to customers during the dry season, and increase system efficiency and water production during the dry season. So they walk in, people. They walk in. We're telling you all this because you need to know what's happening. Often we hear people complain about information that they already received, not paying attention to the information. And when the concerns arise, you know, they ask some crazy questions that the answer was given to a long time ago. Alright, good. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? People, NAWASA says that they have made a submission to cabinet, and once approved, there will be a water management system in place for the entire nation. In other words, there will be restrictions throughout the nation. I'm using your taps to do certain things like wash down vehicles. That will be, remember in 2010, all the bans, in fact, it will be mirroring the bans that were implemented back in 2010. No washing down of vehicles, no using of treated water, no use of treated water for agricultural purposes, and all that kind of thing, people. They say that could happen as soon as March. You understand? I hope all are paying attention, you know. All right. Let me leave that talk right there. Let me leave that talk right there. Some of all your nappy head and all the one if all could get a walk in the United States. All could get walk now, because right now they're saying you cannot discriminate against people in the US as, you know, in terms of the hair. You know, in some business places in the US, prior to this, you can't go to work with them kind of business you're seeing on the screen right now. You understand? So New York City just banned discrimination based on your hairstyles. No, listen. Employers, schools, and clubs that discriminate against natural hair and styles like afro, cornrows, and dreadlocks and so, they can get a $250,000 fine. New Yorkers can no longer be forced to have quote-unquote professional hair, whatever that means. Now they now have a legal right to wear your locks, your natural hair, in afro style and cornrow and dreadlock and twist and braids and bamboo knot, and if you wanted to, they say bantu knot. You understand? And other things. Whatever you do with your hair is your business. You understand? And if they require any glue of the appearance of your hair, then they could be fined $250,000. Huh? Now the new guidelines are believed to be the first in the United States to highlight the hair discrimination and the bias against natural and textured hairstyles that somewhat disproportionately affects black people. You understand? So these policies and them, all they do. Goodbye. Goodbye, Enzo. No, you never. Candle in the wind. Anyway, so it gone, it done. Goodbye to that. So if you want to put your hair like mine and go to work, nobody can nail you nothing. Well, in New York. Yo, don't go in some other states and play that. It'll make all the girls, all the self-lock up, all the girls, all the work. But it's hope, it's, you know, I think that it's going to spread across the West like wildfire and other parts of the world. Now, I have a story to tell all you. Don't play all the laughing on them people program because it's a serious program. It was destined for Grenada, but it never reached. British Airways passengers put up in a brothel after flight cancellation in St. Lucia. I never heard that yet. Folks, we were not able to independently investigate this story because it's out there already like hot bread. People are not making it up, and I'm not putting no picture on my program because I want you to see me expression about a business. Now, last week, British Airways left several passengers stranded, according to reports, in St. Lucia as a result of a flight cancellation, putting some of them up in what turned out to be, according to reports, I don't want to play no lawyer, a brothel. You don't know what a brothel is? Go and Google it. Now, on February 13, British Airways was scheduled to operate flight BA2159 from Gatwick, London, LGW to Grenada, GND, with a stop in Viewfort, St. Lucia. Yeah, son? And the return trip scheduled to operate as BA2158 GND to Viewfort, back to Gatwick. Now, the airline was able to successfully complete the leg from London, Gatwick, to St. Lucia, touching down in Viewfort at around 3 or 5 p.m. local time. However, the flight scheduled to continue on to Grenada was cancelled, resulting in BA2158 also been automatically cancelled as the same aircraft is used to service both flights. Now this cancellation resulted in several passengers being stranded in St. Lucia. Hold on. Now while airline crew members and other passengers were able to find comfortable accommodation, it is being reported that the majority of passengers ended up having to spend the night sleeping on the airport floors as there was a shortage of hotel rooms across the island, and that is due to the cricket match taking place on the same day. Multiple passengers reported being offered rooms at what turned out to be, according to them, a brothel. I ain't making it up. Now, this article goes on to say that it appears that a major lack of communication was to blame, as the airline's social media representative indicated that the majority of passengers were comfortably accommodated. They also said that those who were not able to find a place to stay were allowed access to the airport's business class lounge for the night. Now, those stranded in the airport had a different story, saying that the airline representative at the airport did very little to ease the situation, offering no real information about food, water, or flight status. They also seemed to be unaware that they were allowed access to the airport's business class lounge. Now, the stranded passengers departed the next day on a replacement aircraft. What we have for you is one of the passengers, one of the persons believed to be a passenger, who wrote, "Hi, as one of the passengers from the flight, I can confirm we indeed were sent to an establishment that appeared to me was a brothel. We were shown to a room, each 3 couples, they were semi-naked. Women and men, they greeted us on the landing. Previously, we had been taken to a guest house where my wife and I just got into bed when we were asked to leave because the real guests had arrived. We were then drove around for a while looking for a hotel that didn't exist. At this point, we demanded to be taken back to the airport. This had taken approximately 6 hours. At no point since the plane cancellations at 9 p.m. anyone from British America had done anything. No food, no drink, nothing. The airport staff were directing everything. The press release from BA is quite frankly nonsense. At this point, we were told the island was full due to the cricket, but if we could find a room, the airport will pay. The first hotel we rang took all 12 of us in our party." He says, "We then were blackmailed by the taxi, who told us unless we gave them £20 per couple extra on top of the airport voucher, we were not going anywhere. We arrived at our rooms at 4:30 a.m. Have had one standard email from BA, now sat in the airport, and the new flight home is delayed." It says, "I kid you not." All right, and there were a lot of other people who were sending in reports about this whole incident. Yes, listen, this thing spread like wildfire on social media. The claims that some of these passengers are making. In fact, I heard about this incident even today from an affected family member. And then shortly after, I saw this thing on social media. Yes, but it is crazy. We are moving on. Some of you have not yet shared the program. I encourage you to share the business. You understand? Share the business. We have so many more things to tell you about. Now, the next story that we have to tell you about now, we were attempting to tell you that yesterday, but due to time constraints, were unable to do so. New York reports a 9-year-old girl killed herself over the weekend after her mother refused to allow her to use her cell phone. The body of Heaven Vega was found Saturday by her mother in the family's Bronx apartment, the New York Post reports. Vega had hanged herself from her bed after tying her belt around her neck. Yeah? The mother says that she told her daughter it was too early to be on her cell phone. They say that they continue to fight through the morning about the use of the phone. Now the 9-year-old allegedly wanted to use the phone to go on YouTube. They say the call was made to 911 after the little girl's body was found in her room. They say that her brothers performed CPR until the first responders arrived. They say Heaven was the youngest of her 4 siblings. She was transported to hospital where she was pronounced dead. All right. Now the mother is blaming herself for her daughter's death. 9 years old, and making it up. And now the mother, they say, is blaming herself for her daughter's death. Earlier, we commit ourselves to telling you about things that are happening within our region. Even if we are not directly affected, I think that it is our duty to report. And sometimes the right people see these reports. Now, folks, I want to tell you about what's happening in Haiti. Now, I know a lot of people from Haiti. It's not pretty there. And we're going to join the HTS News Force for a report on the situation in Haiti. It's not good.
While Venezuela plunges into political and economic unrest, violent protests continue in Haiti. The United States warns its citizens against travel to the Creole-speaking nation following anti-government riots. On Thursday, February 14th, the U.S. State Department issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory, citing crime and civil unrest in the capital and other parts of Haiti. Protesters have taken to the streets since February 7th, setting cars ablaze, calling for the resignation of the Prime Minister and President amid inflation and allegations of corruption. There are claims that officials and former ministers misappropriated some £1.5 billion in development funds from an oil deal signed by Caribbean countries and Venezuela, Petrocarib. Roads were reopened in some parts of the country on Monday after being barricaded by protesters for over 11 days, preventing water, food and fuel from getting to people and communities. Schools and businesses have also been forced to shut down due to the anti-government riots. Canada has evacuated more than 100 of its citizens and ordered families to leave. Opposition protesters have been displeased since July 2018 after announcements of a fuel hike. According to reports by the BBC, 7 people have been killed in February's violent demonstrations. The Prime Minister has promised economic measures, including reducing government budgets by 30% to bring relief to Haitians. The country has been dogged by natural disasters and other crises. In 2010, the nation was devastated by a powerful earthquake which killed over 200,000 people. In 2016, Hurricane Michael killed some 3,000 people and destroyed most of the country's buildings and infrastructure. Thousands still remain displaced after the disasters. The Haitian government continues to struggle to move past the protest and has called for residents to return to normalcy. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.
Yeah, man, and you see man running with TV and all kind of thing, you know what I mean? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Anyway, from time to time, we get some very interesting stories coming out of our sister station in St. Lucia, HTS News Force. I say sister because we continue to feature many of the stories. I had the pleasure of meeting many of the staff members several months ago on a trip there. I want to share with you this very interesting story. I don't have to say nothing. I just have to play you the story.
Opportunity came knocking for one suspected thief who casually walked by what he thought was an empty smoothie shop run by Evanas Jacob on the William Peter Boulevard.
You see this kind of things this guy is doing, man? Yeah.
On February 11th, security cameras captured the moments when the suspect made an abrupt U-turn and entered the premises, only to find the owner was inside but hunched down cleaning up.
I heard somebody walked in, so I asked him if he need any help. He told me no, he's gonna come back. He walked out. I swear I heard him walked out, and not knowing is my bag this guy collecting underneath there.
Just as cool as he walked in, the suspect, seen on security cameras sifting and rummaging through bottom shelves, picks up what appeared to be a bag and even appears to respond to the owner's "Can I help you?" query. "I'll come back," is what smoothie shop owner Evanas Jacob says he heard before the suspect casually walked out with the goods. Jacob never got up himself to have a look.
Now I'm starting to mop now. I'm seeing my bag is not there. And I'm seeing, well, I had to go inside and ask my boss to rewind the camera and see what if he could see anyone that took my bag, and suddenly this guy show up taking my bag and going out to me.
Jacob says his personal items, including ID cards, ATM cards, and his passport, were in the bag when it was allegedly taken. But the unsuspecting smoothie shop owner on February 15th had a breakthrough when somebody made a less than clever attempt to return his passport.
The guy just came there and dropped my passport there for me and tell me, "But give me that for you." So I try and stop him. I seize mine. I'll take my belongings. That's mine. And I don't even know who he is, who is not, who is he, where he from, I don't know.
Well, that mystery somebody has reportedly been detained by police and probably won't be back smoothie shopping for a while. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
Okay, so okay, let's conduct a poll on the station on the program. Man steals bag, finds passport in bag, returns the passport without the contents of the bag. We don't know what's in the bag. What do? Do you call the police on the suspect, or do you feel appreciated that he brought back your most valuable item, probably, that was found in the bag? The man bring back the passport. The man bring back the passport. That's what you call a good Samaritan. You still get him on lock up. Is what really going on in the country, right? Okay, so that's kind of different, right? That's kind of different. Yeah. Anyway, so he was arrested, and of course the police will do their investigation and things like that. But now, that one different. Okay, so the timekeeper is saying that it's time to start wrapping things up for that segment of the program. Okay, I heard you. Okay, all right, I heard you. Don't push me now. All right, folks, what we have coming up for you, please, some of you have not yet shared the program, so please go ahead and share the program. Can I just do one more story before I go to the next segment, please, Shirin? Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, has announced that he's got a slate of 21 candidates for the ruling Democratic Labour Party, the DLP, at a delegates conference that happened on Sunday night. Now, among the candidates will be his wife, Melissa. His wife is going to be one of the candidates, people. The current Prime Minister, leave that talk that we could talk about another time. Yeah, time people nagging me. Oh gosh. Anyway, all right. So, folks, I have to take a break. We have the weather and the national report coming. Now, there are a lot of things that I didn't tell you in the main segment of our program because it's in the national report. So, stay tuned because there are a lot of important things that you'll need to know about. That's in the national report. We'll be back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I love you." What a wonderful world.
Audio Jungle.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
This month is Black History Month, so on Saturday, February 23rd, Fireman Promotions presents a tribute to fallen legend at Moonlight City, featuring 10 big DJs: Shotleg, Hawk, Chemist, Baker, Blackstorm, 473 Rulers, Kevlatone, Smiley, Super, Small Clothes, Sound System. Action kicks off from 9 p.m. General admission 10. Come enjoy all the greatest hits from all the fallen legends. Big tunes after big tunes. Saturday, February 23rd, Moonlight City. It's a tribute to fallen legends, and it's music from all your legendary artists. One night, one venue. Saturday, February 23rd, Moonlight City. A tribute to fallen legends. Sponsored by 3 O's Auto, Captain Harris, WeFM, Staggerman's Beer, Glenelg, Design Factory, True Blue Bay Resort, Casey's Fire Extinguishers, and Archibald Distributors.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26 February on the Carnage in St. George's. England versus the West Indies. Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carnage is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely cricket. Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello? Ah.
Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel.
Rally round the West Indies. The pre-match fete. Rally round the West. Sunday, February 24th at the Spice Basket Big Yard as the English comes to town for the ODIs. And for the fete, featuring live onto Trinidad and Tobago, the legendary David Rudder. David Rudder. Alongside the Jamo, Inspector, Short Breed, Dash, and much more local artists juggling on the ones and two Black Storm and GBN's Bulky. Action starts 3 p.m. and goes on till you say when. It will be a true Grenadian fete. Tickets cost $50 and are available at regular ticket outlets nationwide. Rally round the West Indies. The pre-match fete. Sunday, February 24th. Spice Basket. David Rudder. As we get set, all roads lead to the National Stadium on Sunday, 3rd March for March Bingo Madness. March Bingo Madness. Yes, Grenada Mega Force Promotions. March Bingo Madness. Come win 2 mint condition Toyota RAV4s. Plus $35,000 in cash. Tickets cost $60 for one, or pay $100 and we give you 2 tickets. Bingo time 5 p.m. March Bingo Madness. Sunday, 3rd March. National Stadium. 2 Toyota RAV4s. Plus $35,000 in cash. Sponsors: Carrier, Glenelg, Mikey Live, Godfred.com discount card, and Waggity Rentals and Sound Company.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. And it is now time for the National Report. Here is the National Report.
Government urges locals to support the Windies team, which will face England in 2 one-day matches here next week. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, February 19th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Grenada government is urging locals to support the Windies team, which will face England for 2 one-day internationals here next week. It is offering tickets to locals at half the price. During the weekly post-cabinet briefing, Acting Sports Minister Senator the Honourable Winston Garraway said the support is even more crucial, given that this could possibly be the last year that Chris Gayle is playing. Cabinet has decided to grant public officers with tickets time off to attend the games.
Award every public officer who holds a ticket time off to go see the games. So you have Monday the 25th and Wednesday the 27th. But you must present your ticket to your permanent secretary, who will ascertain that yes, you have a valid ticket, and to give you the time off. We also want you to be a part of creating that experience for a young child. As you know, every adult who purchases a ticket can receive or should receive a ticket for a child under 12.
Cricket West Indies has also increased the number of complimentary tickets for students to 575 per day.
We made an application to CWI asking for consideration, and they have agreed, and they've increased the number allotted to our schools by 275 per day more. So we're looking now at, for each day, the free tickets for our school children, it's 575.
Senator Garraway says Grenada is ready to be the host to thousands of foreigners. He spoke of what has been done and minor arrangements that will be made in time for the international games.
On Friday, I was there when the cricket operations officer from CWI was on the ground doing the inspection, and she was very pleased as to the state of progress we have made from our last visit in December. Yes, so we're extremely happy. There are a few, I would say, little things that are going to enhance the aesthetics within the buildings, as you're talking about the players' dressing room and the bathroom and the likes, and so those minor things that just has to be taken care of, and I believe by Saturday everything will be ready for when the arena will be handed over to the GCA, who will then hand it over to CWI. The scoreboard, we're almost ready with this. The replay screen, it should be handed over on Sunday. So we are very much elated as to where we are at this point in time, and we do believe we are ready to welcome the world.
Setting up a unit to combat trafficking in human beings is one of the recommendations that will be examined during a 2-day workshop on combating human trafficking at the SSU camp in Point Saline. The workshop is born out of a request by Grenada through the Royal Grenada Police Force for technical assistance to the ACP EU Migration Action for training and capacity building to combat trafficking in human beings. Another recommendation includes setting up a national response on human trafficking, a referral mechanism for victim support. Mrs. Salian Bagwan Logi, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, says it is imperative that government takes measures to ensure Grenada does not become a jurisdiction that facilitates or condones human trafficking.
This training workshop is quite timely, given the situation that now exists in Venezuela, its impact on the population of that country, and the increased potential for persons to flee to neighboring countries for a better life. After all, Venezuela is just over 500 miles from Grenada. This close proximity increases the likelihood of spillover effects from the ongoing crisis there, and human trafficking may be one of the problems that Caribbean countries will face. Apart from this very real threat of the crisis in Venezuela, including Grenada, it is an inescapable fact that we have very porous borders in the Caribbean. We therefore have to be vigilant as human trafficking is real and our country will not be permanently immune from its impact.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Franklin Redhead says the training is important in the context of transnational crime and the implications for Grenada and other Caribbean countries.
Certainly the issue of human trafficking and human smuggling is a very salient one. We have issues in the region where we know there's a potential for that risk to occur within the Caribbean region to a greater degree. And so it is important that we understand those realities. We understand how we can collaborate as states, as non-state actors, as entities to ensure that we do what is right and important in the context of ensuring that we meet those challenges, but also not only meeting those challenges, but remain ahead of the game in terms of our plans and systems to confront those realities.
Migration expert Siobhan Scanlon commended Grenada for requesting the technical assistance, especially since the country is not subjected to intense scrutiny under the U.S. Trafficking in Persons report.
It is very then creditable that it is nevertheless now wanting to maybe look at more seriously what is taking place in the country, understanding for itself whether what is happening potentially in certain cases is amounting to cases of modern slavery, and if there are such cases here, then creating structures, having people on the ground to stop this damage and to essentially go about assisting victims, rehabilitating victims, taking measures to prevent whatever is taking place, and equally, of course, for most of you around the table, also implementing the law and investigating and prosecuting the perpetrators.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to Pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26 February on the Carnage in St. George's. England versus the West Indies. Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carnage is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely cricket. Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
Continuing the news, the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, has received assistance from the Japan Grant Aid for Economic and Social Development Program to reduce climate change risks. Negotiations between both parties began in 2016 for equipment that can help stakeholders of NADMA reduce the risks associated with disasters. This is in keeping with Grenada's thrust to build resilience against the adverse effects of climate change. Minister with responsibility for disaster management, Senator Winston Garvey, says stakeholders have received a pressure washer, oil skimmer, asphalt paver, vehicles, and a field hospital.
We are expecting, if you want to say a bus, will be delivered later this year for that purpose. As it is right now, the Grenada the Grenada Red Cross would have received a cargo truck for work within the Red Cross community. The Grenada Ports Authority would have received one as well. We also have the Ministry of Communication and Works or Infrastructure Development receiving a mini asphalt paver, and I think this is extremely important for us. Also, the Grenada Ports Authority received oil fence and an oil skimmer, as well as a high pressure washer, and that is to deal with in the event of an oil spill.
Senator Garraway highlighted the importance of the equipment to remedy oil spills.
This set of equipment that will be able to protect our near shore and offshore in the event of an oil spill has been seen as a great piece of innovation, or piece of the direction where we want to go as it relates to protecting our state. And I am extremely elated that we have received this so far.
And finally, the community of Telescope in St. Andrew is the latest to receive assistance from the Embassy of the People's Republic of China. The embassy donated 10 computers to the community to aid in the outfitting of its community center, which was recently reconstructed by a Chinese construction team and funded by the Basic Needs Trust Fund. Collecting on behalf of the community was Minister for Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs, and the parliamentary representative for the constituency of St. Andrew South East, the Honorable Emmeline Pear. She expressed thanks to the government and people of the People's Republic of China for their continued tangible support to Grenada, despite their own challenges.
That is why China is such a good friend of Grenada, because, as you said, mindful of your own challenges at home, you continue to be such a friend in a tangible way to us here in Grenada, not only through the donation of computers, but your support as it relates to sports is an excellent example, but not just sports, education. You know, hundreds of our local students, local persons here get that opportunity to go to China to get a first degree and beyond. And you know what is significant is that these are children who also come from very poor families, but unfortunately some of them may have never had an opportunity had it not been for the government and people of China to access such opportunities at such high levels. So we are immensely grateful, you know, for the support that you provide as a government and people.
This is the second time within a month Grenada has received such a donation. On January 14th, the embassy provided 70 computers to 8 schools across the country at a ceremony held at the Anglican High School. China's chargé d'affaires to Grenada, Mr. Yana Shoujan, pledged his country's commitment to further assisting this country.
We also face some questions of developing. Even this, we are still willing to provide our assistance to the government of Grenada and people of Grenada, because we all belong to developing countries, like brothers and sisters. So we, as we are working out to make the Chinese people living better, and we are also willing to provide our assistance within our capacity. To render our assistance. So that's why today we are ready to provide another 10 computers to the Telescope community.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
All right, thank you very much, Leslie Ann, and everyone else who was a part of the production of the National Report. Okay, we are seeing some percentages after all. We may just get some rain in the coming days. Yes, let's hope so. All right, now let's see what tonight's minimum temperature is going to be. Tonight's minimum temperature is expected to be about 23.5 degrees Celsius. Today's max was 29.5 degrees Celsius. We expect some showers. There's a possibility of isolated showers tonight. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas slight to moderate, waves up to 7 feet in open waters. All right, and for tomorrow, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with a medium chance of morning and nighttime showers. Tomorrow's maximum temperature is expected to be about 29.5 degrees Celsius and the minimum 23 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. The seas are expected to be slight to moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. Now, sun is expected to rise just around 6:25 tomorrow and set at around 6:16 p.m. And that is your weather report. I want to say hello to some people who are tuned in. Let's see the people who are chatting: Kirin, Monica, Crispin, Rita, Veron, Hazel, Shireen, Melly, Charmaine, Anne, Kevin, Angel, Peter, Suzette. We see Esther, Zaka, Irma, Dora, Rachel, Maribon, La Rochelle, Rochelete. I can't remember what you said the last time. Samantha, Melly, Deborah, Patsy, and everyone else. Deslin is there as well, and I see Sally, my sister Lintona, Jennifer, Lista, and who else is there? Shum is there as well. I see you. Now Neki and Marva. Now some of you complain about your stars. Remember, I have no control over the stars. All right, I have no control over the stars. Osric, Khadija, Wendy Ann. Okay, big up to yourself. Okay, did I say Victoria and Colette? Good. And Bernadette. Right. So I have no control over the stars. Remember that. Facebook monitors the stars and decides who it is the stars to. All right. So take up your issues. If you lost your star, take that up with Facebook. All right. Caroline, how are you doing? You have your star. Cassie has. Hey, my mom is there as well. Hi, mom. Long time haven't seen. Michael is there as well. Evelyn, how are you, Evelyn? Lisa is there. Caroline. And guys, those of you who are here in Grenada, what we are hoping is that we can get persons to pledge a $20 contribution, $40 contribution, $50 contributions towards charity. All right, we are currently putting that together, so your contributions will go directly towards a student or a family in need. Okay, so we will tell you how you can make your monthly contributions pretty soon. Folks, that's as far as I can take it for today. You can join me tomorrow, God's willing, at the same time. Yes, and be mindful of sometimes the comments you make and how it may affect the overall success and achievement and the aim of the program, right? Even while you have your fun, you have to understand. Okay, anyway, so enjoy the night, guys, and I really appreciate every one of you. Yeah, I really do. We're going to touch base tomorrow, God's willing, again. Precipitation is expected to be about 11%, humidity 77. I forgot to tell you that. All right, guys, so anyway, enjoy the night. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all say ja. No. Good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow, God's willing. Don't forget, next Tuesday there will be no program, no news, but we will feature the carnival-like event on the Carenage. Remember,